Tomorrow, marking the start of National Infertility Awareness Week. Challenges when starting a family more common than you might think, with 1 out of every 8 women struggling to become pregnant.
There are a lot of misconceptions when it comes to fertility. Joining us to separate some fact from fiction is infertility specialist with the Southern California Reproductive Center, Dr. Shaheen Gadir. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
I know this is a very complicated issue, but let's talk about why is the fertility situation becoming such a big problem in the United States? What do you think the issues really are?
There are many different issues, but sadly the main issue is that in our society today, women are as goal-oriented as any man out there, and they're not just ready to have children like our mothers were in their early 20s. So waiting a little longer has affected a lot of fertility potential for females.
When you say that, so I have some experience with this because I got pregnant with Olivia, my daughter, no problem. And then exactly 2 years later, we couldn't get pregnant. And I think I felt like we waited too long. David, my husband and I dated for 10 years before we decided to get married and start a family. And even though everything seemed okay, basically that's what the doctors will say, like, don't wait forever. You think your fertility stops at 35 or 40. It doesn't, right? It's way earlier than that where you have to start thinking about it.
Actually, it's really sad, but the statistic shows that at the age of 26, 27, or 28, female fertility begins to go down significantly. And as you get older, it starts to go down even more and more rapidly. So it's a very important thing to just think about and maybe assessment earlier and make sure you're one of those people that's still doing really well. So no one's ever faulted for checking their fertility too early.
So let's say someone out there wants to go through fertility treatments. A lot of misconceptions out there. So is one of them that it causes cancer? Is that true or false?
It's completely false. All of the studies that have been done showing the side effects of infertility medications, none of them has ever proven any link to cancer. And I'd like every single woman watching to know that it is safe. The medications are safe. They're out of your system very quickly after you're done with the treatment.
Can you help us understand when is a person considered infertile, or what is the diagnosis? How do you figure that out? When do you realize that you have an issue?
So it's different for many people, but by definition, if you're under the age of 35 and you've been trying for 1 year, that's called infertility. If you're over the age of 35 and you've been trying for 6 months or more, by definition, that is infertility.
Okay.
But does that mean that you can't give birth, you can't become pregnant after?
Or you're having trouble. You might need help, right? You might need to.
Well, so let's put it this way. If you're 26 years old and have very irregular periods, that already puts you in the category of infertility. There's no reason to wait for 1 year. There's no reason to try for 1 year. If you're 39 years old and you want to have 3 kids and you're about to start your journey, there's absolutely no reason to wait for 6 months. But a textbook will tell you you're defined as infertile if you've waited 6 months over the age of 35 and under the age of 35 for 1 year. But that is the last thing that I would ever want to tell anyone, is to wait for 1 entire year when you know and suspect that there's some issues going on.
Right, especially when you're finally ready. Because again, like you say, so many people wait until later in life, so you don't have a whole lot of time at that point. Let's talk about all the things that are out there, though, doctor. So you've got a lot of things: freezing eggs, freezing sperm, freezing embryos. Talk about that. What are the best things, and how does that all work?
So fertility preservation is probably one of the smartest things that anyone in our society can do right now. If you know you're about to begin your career, and if you know you're in a relationship right now that is not ready to have children, you need to think about how to protect your fertility for the future. For women, this involves freezing your eggs. If you are a couple, you can freeze your embryos, which is putting the egg and the sperm together. And if you are a man who wants to have children in the future and is not ready, even though you'll be producing sperm for the rest of your life, it's been shown that sperm under the age of 40 is healthier. So people need to be proactive, and they need to think about what they need to do earlier on rather than waiting to the last minute when it's too late. Also, I think it's incredibly important for people to think about how many kids they really want to have. If you are 35 and beginning the journey, but you want to have 4 kids, just be aware, for baby number 2, 3, or 4, you may be having challenges.
I'm just curious about this because I know a lot of friends, and they have teenage children, and they decide to make the decision to put them on birth control for protection. They don't want their young adult child to get pregnant too early. Are there any studies that show that maybe perhaps taking birth control, whether it's a shot, whether was it the IUD?
That's one
That-
of them.
those-
That's one of the.
Yeah.
Would any of those make someone infertile? Is it would that lead to
No.
that?
No, long-term birth control, the use of an intrauterine device or an IUD, there has been no correlation with any kind of contraception causing long-term infertility. To be honest, many of those things actually protect you from having infections and from having other issues that could be causing infertility. So being proactive and protecting does not. Now, if you've been on birth control for 20 years and you've decided now you want to try, maybe it takes a couple months to get your hormone levels back to where they normally need to be. So we do tell people to give themselves a 1 to 3 month washout period before trying to conceive again.
Now, a lot of the focus is on women during this journey that you talk about, but the truth is that there are male infertility issues as well that people don't often talk about.
Absolutely. And every day we see this number, unfortunately, rising more and more. In the United States, about 40% of infertility is on the female side. There's another 40% that is caused by the male side. And there's about a 20% that we have no idea why, but it's called unexplained infertility. And that male aspect has gotten more and more a part of this formula as we proceed. So we've got to be very proactive as men as well.
It's super frustrating. That's what ours was called, unexplained secondary infertility, and that we had a baby, no problem, and then the second baby we couldn't. So there's like all these little intricacies, but the fact that we're talking about it, National Infertility Awareness Week, that's the starting point to get people to really just talk about it. It's okay to talk about, right?
It has become so much more acceptable. I've been doing this for 18 years at Southern California Reproductive Center, and every day I see changes occurring. You know, in the beginning, people would not even want to talk about it, and now everyone is tagging us on Instagram and letting everyone know about their journey step by step. And there's also people that are in the entertainment world that have brought this to reality and shown people what they've gone through. And I think it's really important. There is no stigma. There should be no stigma. Being proactive and being smart and educated about a topic makes you shine, and there's no stigma assigned to that.
That's so true.
I think the biggest change I've seen is the start of April. It's April Fool's Day. So we used to see so many people making that joke, oh, I'm pregnant, just kidding. And now you're really seeing a pullback. You're saying, well, so many people struggle with this. It's a really sensitive topic. So I guess it is appropriate that discussing it this week. Hey, thank you so much for your time. If you'd like more from Dr. Gadeer, you can check out his podcast. It's called The Fertile Life. You can find it on places like Apple and Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow him on social media. We got all the addresses right there, bottom left side of your screen. Thanks again. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.